The universe around us is as mysterious as it is expansive. We don't know as much as you would think, but the insights of scientists over the past 50 years are almost as unfathomable as they are incredible. Thanks to rapid technological development of interstellar science over the past few decades, amazing things have been discovered about the observable universe. The universe can be described as if it was a ball filled with galaxies, stars, and other giant physical objects. However, despite the size of the Milky Way, it really is tiny in comparison to the vastness of the universe. Our solar system can almost be described as insignificant as a grain of sand. The Milky Way looks like a blurred ring of luminosity visible in the dark sky made up of stars. You could never see it with your naked eye. It appears like a thin band when seen from the Earth's surface because disc-shaped structure of the galaxy is being viewed from within. Edwin Hubble was a renowned astronomer who discovered that the Milky Way is just one of many galaxies. He first observed that galaxies were moving away from each other, and by doing so, he gave rise to the concept of the expanding universe. His findings were groundbreaking, and he inspired people to learn more about astronomy. A recent simulation has uncovered a dark matter zone that houses a lot of visible stars. The estimated size is 2 million light-years in diameter. Our galaxy belongs to the group of galaxies that make up this zone. Astronomy is the study of celestial bodies, like stars and black holes. Astronomers have been studying these objects for centuries. They make observations and then create models in order to better understand what they see. In this video, we'll explore the vastness of space, stars, and black holes. We'll talk about how they're different and what they have in common with each other. Black holes are so dense that not even light can escape them. These strange things in space have been studied by scientists for centuries, and no one has been able to prove they exist until now. A lot of the content of the Milky Way is invisible to telescopes, as it doesn't emit or absorb light. This dark matter accounts for a staggering percentage of all the spatial volume in our galaxy, yet somehow remains elusive and has never been seen or touched before. As a whole, the Milky Way is moving at an incredible velocity of 600 kilometers per second. Researchers have now revealed that the oldest stars in the Milky Way are nearly as old as the universe itself, and therefore probably formed shortly after the Big Bang. The Milky Way is one of the two largest galaxies in the local group. The other one is named Andromeda. There are a lot of things going on inside this galaxy of ours. The space between the stars is occupied by a disk of gas called the interstellar medium, but a lot is happening outside the Milky Way too. The Milky Way and Andromeda are two of the 4 largest galaxies in the local group. The other two are the Small Magellanic Cloud and Large Magellanic Cloud. The Abell 3667 is an intriguing galaxy cluster that was discovered in 1977. It is called the Abell 3667 because it was first detected by astronomer Alan Sandage using Palomar Observatory's 48-inch Schmidt telescope. The cluster is made up of 2 groups of colliding galaxies, each ranging from 5 to 10 million light-years in width. The Abell 3667 appears to be in the process of merging 2 massive galaxies, with each galaxy weighing a trillion solar masses. Astronomers have discovered that the universe is home to 550 individual galaxies, slowly stirring into one enormous cosmic soup. A massive shockwave was detected by scientists after 2 clusters of galaxies merged into one. Researchers using radio telescopes report seeing a shockwave coming from the merging galaxy cluster. The wave is only visible in radio wavelengths, and the site is about 600 kilometers away at the Meerkat Radio Telescope Array and is located in South Africa. The shock waves function as massive particle accelerators that accelerate electrons to nearly the speed of light. The waves are threaded by an intricate pattern of bright filaments that trace the location of giant magnetic field lines and the areas where electrons are accelerated in the solar atmosphere. When 2 clusters merge, they release an equally enormous amount of energy. Researchers think this is the largest amount of energy released in a single event since the Big Bang. The collision event is what happened when clusters collided 1 billion years ago, shooting out a shock wave of fast-moving electrons that still exist today. When those electrons go through magnetic fields, they release the brightest form of radiation we can observe. This discovery is considered a game change in the field of study focused on understanding the merger of galaxy clusters, but this definitely isn't the only astonishing thing found in outer space in recent years. A team of astronomers discovered a huge cloud of hot, faintly glowing gas in outer space that is much bigger than the Milky Way galaxy. This is a one-of-a-kind cosmic gas cloud. This cloud had managed to stay lumped together for hundreds of millions of years. After analyzing the X-ray emission, the team of researchers concluded that the cloud was even larger than they initially anticipated it to be according to them. This cloud has a mass of about 10 billion times that of the Sun. This discovery demonstrates that new surprises are always out there in astronomy. It also showed that its temperature ranges between 10 to 1 billion Kelvin. This temperature is consistent with a gas found inside galaxies, and therefore solidified the theory that the cloud ripped from a galaxy as it was moving through space. Our Sun also revealed that the cloud was spotted in Abell 1367, or Leo cluster, which contains nearly 70 galaxies. It is located about 300 million light-years from Earth. At first, the scientists working to work out if the guests could stay intact for so long and come from a different galaxy despite stripping it down so long ago. If a magnetic field is capable of holding a gas cloud together, then the instabilities within it will not be able to resist the force, and thus you should have a stable object that won't be disrupted. It's only logical to assume from the mass given of this cloud that the galaxy it tripped away from was also extraordinarily large. The team of researchers is optimistic that this cloud might aid them in tracking its parent galaxy. This data will also help scientists identify similar clouds in the future. Scientists have observed evidence in the form of a cloud that supports the assumption that the intra-cluster medium can divest galaxies of their gas. Sometimes, the absence of everything is more of a dilemma for scientists than the presence of something strange. In 1981, astronomers at the University of Michigan were attempting to calculate the redshifts of a great number of galaxies. They created a 3D map of the universe, and as the map became more detailed, they spotted something strange around 700 million light-years from Earth. There was a dark sphere staring back at the researchers. It was 330 million light-miles wide and had a huge deficit where stars didn't form. This void could fit the Milky Way 1 billion times over, yet there was barely any galaxies there at first. It was called the Great Nothing, but later it was named the Boötis Void, because it apparently lies in the constellation of Boötis. Many detailed maps of the universe have been created since then, and we now know that most galaxies are found in the form of long structures called filaments that wind through the cosmos. Between these threads lie huge empty voids with very few galaxies. It turns out these voids constitute around 80% of the observable universe. So far, most of the no clusters are about 30 to 300 million light-years across. The Hades is one of the largest voids out there, so it's called the supervoid. Some scientists believe that many smaller voids merge together to produce smaller voids called bodies. But why do these voids exist? The early universe was tightly packed and uniform like a soup. However, quantum fluctuations started creating small differences in the distribution of matter. As this happened, some areas became denser than the others. This meant their gravitational pull was also greater, so they pulled away the matter from less dense areas. This, by extension to these other areas, have made them more dense. The universe had an expansion at the same time, and space is expanding. Likewise, fluctuations that started on a quantum level have come to an end with amazing distances, hundreds of millions of light-years. The smaller clumps began organizing themselves into galaxies while the voids kept growing. These new discoveries and more have helped scientists increase their understanding into what the universe looked like at its very beginning. Though the revelation of more and more secrets from space is also terrifying, it only proves that we know very little about the endless universe around us. But experts believe no amount of fear should stand in the way of acquiring as much information about outer space as humanly possible. If you agree, tell us in the comment section, and don't forget to like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for Space Plug content.